We are back and talking even more Helldivers. As we know, there's another community update due tomorrow, coming to us in the form of a blog post. And we also know that yesterday, we did not get a much anticipated game update or patch to the game. But that doesn't mean there's nothing new to discuss, because the devs just added something into the game you'll want to know about. And more on that in just a moment. Welcome to the channel. This is 𝙒𝙄𝙇𝘿, and we've got yet another Illuminate sighting and then immediate disappearance. Some new dispatches from Helldivers HQ, a stratagem for you to get your hands on, which by the way is live and in the game right now, plus some studio responses as well. So yeah, there's a lot to run through today, and as always, you're going to get my feedback on it all as we make our way through it. In case you haven't done so already, please take a moment to hit subscribe, and while you're at it, take a few seconds more to ring that notification bell to receive my latest upload alerts. And who's ready to turn up the heat with more Helldivers? I seem to be getting good with this format, so let's give it another go with the world-famous 30-second Superstore reset. Starting off with the Viper Commando's Jaguar medium body armor with peak physique for even more melee damage, which is not good, but it also improves weapon handling, which is good, especially for those large strat weapons. There's also the Jaguar beret mask and helmet combo for sale, the Guerrilla Gorilla helmet hood combo, and the Guerrilla Gorilla super beefy heavy body armor with engineering kit for +2 throwables and reduced recoil. And for those of you with a keen eye, you've seen me rock this armor on more than one occasion, and it is my go-to set when bot diving. Quickly over to the Gallactic map, and with 2 days to go in the current bug major order, we have 2 of the 4 needed defenses completed, and we currently hold Fact Bay, Gar Heron, and Gatria. And I probably butchered that pronunciation for Gar Heron, but whatever. Speaking of Gatria, that looks to be our 3rd successful defense campaign, with the Helldiver forces currently in a position of strength there, and about 20 hours to go to finish it up. After Gatria, we can probably hop on over to Fact Bay, which is currently also in a defense campaign, and knock out that 4th needed defense, and then we're just done with this major order. To aid in those defense missions, today's daily or personal order is to kill 200 enemies using the Stalwart, which annihilates bug chaff, and it's versatile as well because you can reload it on the move instead of kneeling down, making you an instant snack for terminid hunters. As always, the kills are shared across the squad, and expect 15 medals upon successful completion. Next up are 2 very interesting dispatches from Helldivers HQ, and both of these are really worth you paying attention to. Now, the first one reads, System Outage Update. It says, some Helldivers may have noticed a recent service outage in the major order communication display. The issue has since been resolved, and it has parentheses here, details below, and then it shows some data entry points. Cause: organic tissue degradation on electronic equipment. Discussion: comms, technician R2342 became stranded in server farm. Cause of death: exposure. Oh well, rip R2342, I guess. Resolution: electronics replaced. Family of deceased fined for damages. Once again, you've always got to love the way these dispatches are worded, but just so you know, this one has some hidden meaning to it, because there was an IRL glitch with our Galactic maps that happened this morning, as reported by Paul Tassi over at Forbes. Helldivers 2 deletes the Illuminate's arrival on the map, and then he goes on to say, for a few minutes, it seems 5 sectors showed as occupied by a new force, with enough players screenshotting it to prove its legitimacy. It would be a pretty weird way to debut the Illuminate by a brief flash that only a few people saw, but something else appeared that seems to confirm it was on purpose. Kind of old news when it comes down to the Illuminate, right? As we've been seeing and hearing about them for what feels like years, but in all reality, it's just been a few months. But still, here's yet another Illuminate sighting, this time in what appears to have been a dev glitch where they published and then removed the Illuminate portions of the map. Of course, speculation everywhere on this one, but I'd personally love to get something credible concerning their appearance in tomorrow's massive studio dev blog. Also, let me know where you stand on this faction. Are you done with hearing about them? Are you excited about hearing about them? Leave me a comment and let's see where you ladies and gents are landing on the Illuminate. Okay, the second bit of breaking news is this second dispatch from Helldivers HQ, which I'm not going to read to you verbatim, but the gist of this says that despite us failing the previous bot major order to secure the necessary materials to manufacture those orbital napalm barrages, they are now in the game and available for you to try out for free, which, by the way, I did just before recording this video. So here is that footage for you to check out. I'm just going to shut up and then we'll talk about what we see on the other side of this one.
Orbital barrage incoming. Stand clear.
Okay, what did you think? Overall, it looks to have the same spread as the 120, and it comes in 5 shells at a time with a total of something like 5 or 6 volleys. Now, since it's not yet in the ship computer, the exact specs are not listed, but from my limited time just kind of messing around with it, it looks like it has somewhere around a 3-minute 20 to 3-minute 30 second cooldown timer on it, and that's with me having all the ship cooldown modules unlocked. But overall, this could be some serious utility for us, especially with laying down massive AoE zones, especially around those bug breaches. Let me know what you thought of the footage and if this is something you might rock in your upcoming loadouts. Rewinding to yesterday, and yeah, we were all kind of hoping for something to hit the game, some sort of update, a little piece of the pie from this proposed 60-day studio plan to save the game, and sadly, we got a nothing burger. But who knows? Maybe the orbital napalm barrage being added into the game was the devs' way of trying to give us something. But as expected, when we got that nothing burger announcement, it wasn't received very well. Now, PC Games brought us this headline concerning that non-announcement from yesterday. They said, Helldivers 2 dev delays update, promises further details coming soon. If you were expecting an update to Helldivers 2, you'll have to wait a little longer, with a blog coming from the developer soon to explain. Now, as always, links to all my sources can be found down in the video description, but PC Games goes on to lay it out kind of like this, quote, "It's fair to say that Helldivers 2 has been weathering a true storm over recent weeks. The most recent issues for the co-op game revolve around the perception that it is overbalanced. Popular builds and weapons have been nerfed too much, and there's just an overall sense of dissatisfaction with the title. As a result, the developer has announced a plan to get the game out of the doldrums with regular patches incoming to spruce everything up. This looked to get underway with a new update which fans expected would release on Tuesday, September the 3rd, so that was yesterday. That patch will now not appear, with the developer taking to the game's Discord to elaborate. Baskinator's announcement was next to follow. She said, quote, "We know some of you were expecting an update today to the game. As you all know, we're working tirelessly on our 60-day commitment plan. In order to do this, we are changing up the frequency of our updates during this period." I thought we already heard about this. They were reducing the cadence of updates, but here I guess they're reducing it even further? I don't know. Question mark? Okay. Helldivers 2 community manager Baskinator writes, "On Thursday of this week, we will be releasing a new blog which details our progress so far, the fixes we have worked on, and the date for the delivery of these updates." I think most importantly for all of us is the date, and then second would, or a close second would be exactly what's in there. Anyway, she finishes up with, "This will give you all the information you need and our deadline for our first delivery under the plan." This article finishes up with, "Despite confirmation that work is proceeding on the recovery plan for the game, some players have reacted to this reveal for an upcoming blog post with a degree of amusement. Quote, 'The classic announcement of the announcement for the announcement,' writes one user on the game's subreddit. Another one said, quote, 'This week we'll be telling you about something,' laughs another." So, yeah, tomorrow it is, which Just so happens to overlap with the early access release of Space Marine 2 FML. So this timing is not ideal for Helldivers 2 in the least. Now, like many of you, I want the best from this blog post, but I'm also bracing for the least. And notice I did not say the worst, I said the least. Like that Reddit comment said, the announcement of the announcement for the announcement, you know, that sort of thing. Johan has already dropped a few hints in specific for what's coming in this upcoming patch, but what we really need to know is when will it happen, how game-changing will it be, and of most importance, at least for me, how much fun factor will it bring back to the game in terms of loadouts and options? Again, fingers and toes crossed for tomorrow. All right, it's time for your top 3 comments from my last Helldivers video, and I know, I've missed it for the last few uploads, especially after that Concord failure video I had to upload yesterday, but we're back on the grind, and kicking it off at number 1 was Xana3961 with this one. I'm reminded of a quote by Gordon Ramsay regarding restaurants. Quote, "People don't complain, they don't come back." People like the game. Now it's bad. The silent majority left already to find something else. The die-hard fans are the only ones remaining, and they're leaving too. I mean, there's really nothing needed for me on this one. Nothing I can add of value, as the OP has kind of nailed it on the head. Has Arrowhead and Helldivers seen its best days, or are they behind us? Even if they came out with a mind-blowing shift back to what the game was at launch, will that be enough? You know, I honestly don't know. Number 2 comment is from, oh boy, I'm going to butcher this one, Bodhisattva326, and sorry if I butchered the pronunciation there, who says, "Social media is the toilet bowl of the internet." Yes, referring to my last Helldivers video, speaking about some of the stuff that was flying around over on Reddit, and I know there are a lot of you out there that simply do not engage with things like Twitter, Insta, and Reddit, and believe me, I know exactly why. And the number 3 comment comes to us direct from MLGPug553, who says, "I only use your channel for news on Helldivers. Everyone else says the same things every video to upload daily, having 10 to 15 minute videos with no real news." And by the way, I really appreciate the comment. Also, I've been tuning in and checking out a bunch of other HD content creators, and I have to say, I respectfully disagree with MLG's comment here, because there's many other talented creators out there, and all of us are just trying to survive in this land of Helldivers. All right, that's all we've got time for today, and if you want to make it into my next Helldivers top 3 comments, you first need to drop me a comment on this video, and who knows, next video you could see your name and comment up in lights. Remember to hit subscribe and to ring that notifications bell to receive my latest upload alerts. All my socials, including links to all of today's sources, can be found down in the video description. Shout out to the nearly 243,000 of you incredible ladies and gents from across the globe who've already taken the plunge. You have hit subscribe and you tune in daily to support me and my content. Until the next one, this is LtBuzzLitebeer signing off.